In this week's parasha, Parashat Shelach, at the very end of the parasha, we have ourselves the mitzvah of tzitzit. And in the mitzvah of tzitzit, we have that special string of the Tekhelet, which the Chazal tells us, says the Gemara Menachot, that we look at the string, the blue string, and it's going to remind us of the ocean, which is going to remind us of the heavens, which is going to take us all the way up to the Shamayim, Kisei HaKavod, all the way to God. If we use our imagination properly, we're going to try to actually get all the way up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we mentioned a couple of years ago this idea based off of science that we have ourselves the color spectrum, Roy G. Biv. And when we go up the color spectrum towards the Tekhelet, towards that, eventually we get to the area, the ultraviolet, till the point we can no longer see HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And really, says the Ramban, says other commentators, that the Tekhelet is really the furthest that we could really see in the world with our eyes. That's the colors. And once you go further than the blue, once you go further than that violet, you go all the way up. And it's actually a good proof towards those that says that Tekhelet is more of a darker blue, closer to the dark sky. But eventually you go to the point you can't see anymore, and it becomes invisible. That's supposed to be a way to try to understand HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're supposed to look at our Tekhelet and go all the way up to the Shamayim to try to think of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and realize that we really can't see. And when we think about the ocean and the water, so it looks blue, but when you actually take the water, you put it into a cup, it's clear. You actually don't see it. It actually doesn't exist. And that's really what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is all about, that we use the imagination to go from color to color, to go all the way up, to not seeing, to understand that's really what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. It's that infinite in the void that we mentioned in the past, the holy spot in the Mishkan. That's the way to really try to understand HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, I heard an awesome idea from Rabbi Norlich, our rabbi in our shul here in Beit Shemesh, where he actually says a little bit of the same idea, but in the flip. He says, but ultimately, the mitzvah of tzitzit is what? To wear the blue string. So the question is, why wear the blue string? Maybe it should be clearer. Maybe, how, if the Tekhelet will take us up to the Shamayim, why do we have blue down over here? Because he says, what is the blue? The blue is you have the light that you can't see. But when the light hits water, eventually you have blue. You have the sky, and then you have the waters, and actually as you get deeper, the blues get even darker. But the idea is that's the way the light gets absorbed. When the light comes up from the Shamayim down into the water, it makes that blue, and you get a lot of it together, and we're looking at it. So he says, what is the blue? The blue is the way that light, symbolizing HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that ore, is down here in this world. And he says, ultimately, our job in this world is to be doing the mitzvahs down here below. Therefore, our mitzvah, what the actions that we're supposed to do, the ma'aseh, is the blue itself. It's the blue string. That's what we do to recognize that our goal is to take the godliness, take the kedusha, take the light, and bring it down into this world, harness it, absorb it, and use it for mitzvot. Shabbat shalom.